Hi there, welcome to another episode of the CC series. Thank you so much for watching, for liking, for all those that have just recently subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Guess what? The video on transcript has reached 1,000 views. Thank you so much. Can still keep sharing and then watching the other videos that I've put out. So few people have reached out to me about this particular discussion that I want to talk about today, and so I'm like, okay, yes, I think now is the right time to talk about it. So today we're going to be talking about how to apply for your non-immigrant visa. I'm going to take you through the step-by-step guide of applying for your non-immigrant visa. Particularly if you're applying from Nigeria, these are the steps that you need. Some might come before the other, but you have to go through all of the steps to be able to apply or to complete your application for a non-immigrant visa. So first step is that you want to even determine what kind of visa that is required of you. So what category do you fall under? Are you applying for an F1 visa, which most likely is an international student visa? It's a temporary international student visa. Are you applying for a B1, B2, which is business or tourist? You're just going for vacation. Are you applying for an F2, which is a dependent on an F1, and things like that? There are all kinds of categories. So you want to determine what category do I belong to, so I know which visa I'm applying for. So when you determine what category you belong to, then you know how to move on. So the second thing is preparing your documents. Remember that you have to determine what kind of category you fall under. The category you fall under can also determine the kind of documents you will need. So maybe, for instance, you're applying for an F1 visa, you obviously need your I-20, which is a document sent from your school that you're supposed to use during your application. You'll need your international passport, you need a passport photograph, and some other documents that might be required for you when you're applying. So you want to prepare your documents, or ask yourself, do I even have all the documents before I start this application? Do I have my I-20? Do I have my international passport? Do I have all the other documents required of me before I go ahead and start? So the second step is gather your documents, or ask yourself whether you have those documents. If you have them, then you can proceed. The third would be start your DS-160 application. So you want to start your DS-160 application. The website for that is ceac.state.gov/Geneve. So this is an online application for non-immigrant visa. You go there, fill this form truthfully and accurately, fill in all your information, everything. They're going to ask you everything about your application, whether you're doing a B1, B2, or you're doing an F1, F2, what information that is required for you that you're applying for that visa. You have to fill it, on the DS-160 form correctly, accurately, truthfully. So usually when you start up this application, there's an ID number on the application that you would be there as you start your application. If you know that you're not going to finish your application in one day or at one sitting, you can always just save that ID number. So anytime you go back, you just put in the ID number, retrieve your application, and then continue from where you stopped, rather than starting the application from the beginning. So just keep the ID number somewhere. The fourth would be, or I can just take this together. Well, I think I can take this together with your DS-160 application, but this next step, it depends. You can do it now, or you can do it towards like the 6th or 7th step. The next one is to take the required passport photograph. So there's a particular size that is required for an American visa. It's not the regular passport size. There's this particular dimension that you need. It's on the website. You can just check for the exact dimension that you need, and then take it to your passport photographer, whoever the person is, to help you take that particular dimension. Then your ears have to be out, and there's some other things that are required of you to take that particular passport photograph, because you're going to need it along the line during your application. So the next thing you want to do is you want to make payment at the bank. I think the payment now is 67,000 something, 200 or 500, I'm not sure, but I'm going to tell you what the link is at the end so that you can just go ahead and confirm the amount. But I think it's 67,000 something. GT Bank, I paid mine at GT Bank, so I know GT Bank takes it, accepts payment for visa applications. So what you just need to do is pay at the bank. So it depends. You can pay now, or you can pay a step after this, but you can just do it now, pay it, get your receipt, and just have it in hand, because you're going to need it when it comes to you trying to pick a date or get an interview date. You're going to need it for before your interview date is confirmed, or before you're able to schedule your appointment. You're going to need your receipt of payment. So after that, you want to create a profile. So usually after you're done with your DS-160 application, you've filled everything correctly, you've completed it, it will just take you directly to this link where you're supposed to create a profile. But directly from your DS-160 application, it takes you to that link where you will now create a profile so you can schedule your appointment. So the first one you fill, the DS-160 application, is just you stating all your claim, putting all your facts forward, whether you're saying you have a sponsor, the address of the person, what you've been doing, whether you're a student, whether you're an employer, an employee, all this general information they want to have. And then that's just what the DS-160 form is. And then now you creating this profile is for you to schedule an appointment, schedule an appointment. And so you would go ahead and just create a profile. Make sure you have a working email address, because it's that email address to be corresponding, that they'll be sending you or mails back and forth that you'll be corresponding on. So make sure that your email address, you can access it. It's not like as if you've forgotten the password or you don't remember what the password is. And then when you create the profile, then you schedule an appointment. So at this point in time, when you're ready to schedule your appointment, you're going to need that receipt from the bank, that payment that you made. You're going to need the receipt. You're going to need your international passport, because they're going to ask for your passport number. If you're an F1 student, an international student, they're probably going to need your I-20 at this point. You're going to need your DS-160 application number. You're going to need whatever that might be required for you to schedule this appointment is going to be needed at this time. Probably your confirmation number too from your DS-160 application. You will need it when you're scheduling this appointment. So when you get to the part where you need to schedule the appointment, you pick a date. You obviously see the calendar there. You're supposed to pick a date, whatever date is available to you, whatever date you are okay with doing, and then you pick the date. I'm sure this should be like step 6 or step 7. Go for your interview would be the last step. So you've filled your DS-160 application, you made payments, you have the correct size passport photograph, you've logged on, created a profile, scheduled an appointment. Then at the exact time and dates that you scheduled the appointment for, go for your interview. Be prepared, be there at the exact time, and go with all your documents, the confirmation page of your DS-160 application, and any other supporting documents to support your claim. Make sure you go with them, and you go for your interview. And I hope you are prepared for your interview. If you are not, there is a video on how to prepare for your interview. You can just go back and watch that. It will help you a lot. The last step, this one will apply if you go for your interview and you get the visa. Then you as well just pick up your passport at any of the offices that you've indicated you want to pick it up from. So at some time during the application, they would ask you, where do you want to pick up your passport from? Do you want to pick up from the VI office or from the Oshodi office, whatever office it is, or however you want it delivered to you, you would have picked that up already, or you would have indicated that already. So the last step would be you picking up your passport, subject to how you've indicated and if you got the visa. So for more information as regards like your visa application and everything, you can visit ustraveldocs.com/ng. that will have some information or more information as to payments, the exact payments, and maybe the banks where you can pay and things like that. But also, if you have any questions as regards this, just go ahead, drop it in the comment section. I'll be glad to answer you. I think I'm going to do a video on how to fill in your DS-160 application, how to fill your DS-160 form. If you think I need to do that, just tell me, or if you need that